Hello, hello. I hope you are well. Today, I simply just wanted to sit down and go through Christmas family tradition ideas. I compiled this long list of just beautiful and super sweet ideas. Some of them we already have implemented the past few years as a married couple. Some of them I'm really excited to do as a family with our baby and his first Christmas. But essentially, these are just super fun ideas to make the season more special, intentional. And I love having a list like this. It's kind of like having a Christmas bucket list, which I always like to make those at the beginning of the season as well. But I feel like traditions just really has more weight to it when you talk about Christmas, having those Christmas traditions. So I love having lists like this to reference. So if you have an open evening, an open day, and you're looking for something festive, a festive way to spend it, hopefully these ideas will serve you well. Also, I'll put all of these on my website, so don't feel like you need to make notes. Feel free to if you wish, if you fancy, but I'll have them on my website if you want to just take a peek there, reference them whenever. But before we dive in, let's make some hot cocoa to accompany us. I think you could call it hot cocoa. It's more like sipping chocolate. This is our favorite simple recipe. We don't even typically keep the powdered hot cocoa mix because once you taste this hot chocolate, it's hard to go back because it's just so pure, so decadent, so delicious. Let me show you how we make it. First things first, we're gonna add our milk. You can use whatever milk you fancy. And you can even water it down if you prefer. And I'm gonna add in our dark chocolate chips, chunks, whatever you prefer. You can do milk chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate. This is your hot chocolate, so you make the rules. And I truly do just measure with my heart, but I'll put rough measurements in the description. So if you wanna recreate this, you can, but of course, make it your own. So I'm gonna add in some cacao powder. This adds a really nice deep chocolate flavor. I'm pretty generous with it too. We're also gonna pop in a candy cane so we have that gorgeous peppermint flavor. I usually do a whole candy cane, or it's the mini one, but I usually do a whole one for both Brandon and my hot chocolate. So this is kind of a big portion. It'll be extra minty this time, but I really enjoy it, so not too worried about it. Wait, I just thought of an idea. I wanna save some of the candy cane and crush it, and then we can put it on top. So I am actually gonna fish out this little piece and rinse it off, and then we'll crush it and put it over our whipped cream. Next, we're gonna add in some sea salt. I love this coarse kosher sea salt. Just sprinkle some of that in. And then we're gonna do just a teensy bit of vanilla extract. We have the burner on low, and I'm just gonna let everything start to melt and combine and whisk every now and then. It usually takes about 5 minutes. I don't like to put it on a high heat or anything because I want everything to just kind of blend together smoothly. We don't want to bring it to a boil or anything. We're purely just warming everything up and melting it together. And while that's getting nice and toasty, let's make our whipped cream. Okay, we're just gonna do a classic whipped cream recipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a full batch since it's Thanksgiving at the end of the week. And I'm gonna attempt to make homemade pumpkin pie. So of course, naturally, it'd be great to have some whipped cream on top of it. That was a fun noise. Gorgeous. We purchased this mug on our trip to Colmar, France a few years ago. It is so cute. It came with this little spoon. Let me find it. Maybe we'll use it to scoop in our whipped cream. So precious. The spoon actually broke, but I super glued it back together and it's worked like a charm ever since. But Colmar, France is known for being just the dreamiest storybook like Christmas village. It really is just a dream. So I love using this mug and daydreaming about it. I'm scared to break this spoon again. And there's a little pretzel on the mug because Colmar, France actually borders Germany as well, so they have delicious pretzels. Nice thick whipped cream on top. Gorgeous. This would actually be a great base for a mocha as well. Pour some espresso in there. Yum. Cheers. I was a little heavy-handed with the sea salt, but it tastes fabulous. It's such a good juxtaposition of the sweet and salty, which, by the way, juxtaposition is one of my favorite words if you haven't noticed. I feel like I'm using it every chance I get. Also, the thrift shop coat has just been everything. It's so comfy. I wore it to the Nutcracker this weekend and it was so sweet. I got multiple compliments on it, and as much as I love saying, oh yeah, I found it at a thrift store because that's so exciting, I also feel like it's, I wish I could tell people where to get it because it's so fun. I haven't tried to identify it through Google Lens where you can hold it up and try to identify where it's from. I'm sure there's something similar out there, so I'll do some digging, but let's dive into the traditions. Also, I wanted again to mention that I'll have them on my website, and I also wanted to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I love Squarespace. I use it all the time. It's just a great hub to house various parts of my business, and I just love to update it with fun little elements. And even though I've had my website again for almost a decade, they are always innovating, always adding new elements. And now they have their design intelligence, which is combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. And design intelligence empowers anyone to build a beautiful, more personalized website tailored to their unique needs and craft their digital identity. So again, I think this is a really great feature because you want to make a website that's unique to you. You don't want it to be cookie cutter. You want it to really reflect who you are or what your business offers. So I think this is a great tool, and they also have tools to sell digital and physical products if that's something you're interested to. So I could go on, but if you are interested in Squarespace, you can head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/AllisonBickerstaff to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, for the first tradition, this is actually one we do with my mom's side of the family, and we usually spend Christmas Eve together. So what we love to do is have Christmas Eve fondue for dinner, and we have cheese fondue and then chocolate fondue for dessert. It is so insanely delicious, and it just feels special because that's not a meal that we eat quite often. And it's also great too because it's a crowd pleaser. When you have a big group of people, you can have a bunch of different things to dip in the cheese fondue, the chocolate fondue, and it's like an activity while you're eating. It's just a delight. So really love that one. In the past, we've done 2 different kinds of cheese. I think we do a cheddar and then a Swiss and cheddar. And then for some of the dipping options, we have pretzels, apples, bread. The savory I kind of forget the savory sometimes. Carrots, veggies, and then chocolate. Oh my goodness. We've done a mint chocolate in the past, and then dark chocolate is always our favorite. So you can just have so much fun with it and customize it. And again, it's great for a big family because you can just it's relatively simple in a way. I mean, not really, because you have to have the melting pots for the fondue, but you know, just, I feel like personally I get intimidated with feeding like a big group of people or a really big family. So I feel like this is a way to kind of make it fun and again, super memorable and special. Okay, this one we haven't done yet, but as our son gets older, I definitely want to do this, and this is having a book advent calendar. I also just love the idea of having an advent calendar, an activity advent calendar, so sort of like a countdown to Christmas where each day we have the advent calendar and then we pull out a different activity idea, and this is where this list will come in handy as well because we can just pull one of these ideas and find a good way to spend the day or find a little moment where we can celebrate Christmas time. So the book advent calendar is a cute idea because essentially the thought is to collect 25 books, whether you go thrift some, you buy them, or you take some of the books you already have, which we'll definitely be doing because we have quite the collection, and then you wrap 25 of them, and then each day you unwrap a different book. You could also do it with library books as well. And then you read it that night. I think that's so cute and a great way to just instill a love of reading from a young age, but also it'd be really fun. Like if Brandon did that for me as a gift, I would be overjoyed. So I really love this idea. I think it bodes a bit better for kids because, you know, having short little books that you could actually read in one day opposed to like adult novels. But I really love this idea. I think it's super, super sweet. Okay, this one I always did as a kid and I absolutely loved it, and that was to sprinkle reindeer food in your front or backyard. So I remember I would always take carrots and then sprinkle them the night or on Christmas Eve for Santa's reindeers, or like oatmeal as well, carrots and oatmeal. And I think I had more fun doing that than putting out cookies for Santa. I think I was more concerned about the reindeers having enough energy to fly from the North Pole. So I love that tradition. Okay, the next one is cuddle in bed first thing Christmas morning and read the story of Christmas, the true story of Christmas, Luke chapter 2. I love this, and there's so many times when you could read Luke chapter 2. You could even do it in bits and pieces if you want, but it's relatively short too. So I think this is a great way to kind of ground your Christmas day. Last Christmas, actually, it was just Brandon and I. We spent some time with family in the morning, but it was crazy because we found out we were pregnant on that day. So that was truly the best, and we just sort of wanted to bask in our little secret together. But we watched The Chosen, which is beautiful depiction of Jesus's life, where you can watch. They have different episodes, but they also have a movie or two as well. So we watched that, and that was great to sort of like spend Christmas celebrating Jesus's life in a way where he's like top of mind because we're learning about his story more and just reminding ourselves. So reading Luke chapter 2, of course, is a great way to do that. And I love the idea of just cuddling in bed together and just reading that, maybe with some hot cocoa or coffee. I'm actually getting emotional talking about it. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Bake and pass out treats to the neighbors. This one is so sweet. I definitely want to do something for our neighbors. I'm still in the brainstorming phase, but my mother-in-law, or Brandon's side of the family, they lived on this cul-de-sac where they were really great friends with all of their neighbors growing up, and it's so fun because we're still friends with them, and there's just so many connections. I could go into that, but she always made fudge, and then one of the other neighbors always made like a mix of different sugar cookies, and then another neighbor made candied nuts, and they would always like pass them out and trade with each other. And all of these treats were so delicious. My mother-in-law's fudge, divine. The candied nuts, so good. And the cookies were just adorable and delicious. So, oh, and last year our neighbor to this side, and we exchanged cookies together, which was fun. But I love the idea of like picking one thing and doing that every single year. So it's kind of expected, and I don't know, something different. I think I want to do something different than cookies, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, still brainstorming, so let me know if you have ideas. Oh, this one I also love. Santa brings a new board game to play on Christmas Day. I love this. We're still kind of figuring out how we want Santa, what part we want Santa to play in our life, in our family. And I think this is gonna be his role. I think he's gonna be the one to bring, I think most of the gifts will be from mom and dad, okay? And then Santa will bring a game for our kids, and then we can all play it together. I love that idea, and I love the idea of spending time on Christmas playing a game. I feel like sometimes after Christmas morning, after, you know, opening presents and stuff, you have the rest of the day and it's like, okay, how do we want to spend it? We can watch movies, but also playing a game sounds wonderful. So, especially if it's a new game, that's just really exciting. The next one is gingerbread house competition. Love this. Throughout the years, I've had different friends host gingerbread house competitions, which is just so fun. And in the past, my mom has we celebrate Thanksgiving with her side of the family a couple days after actual Thanksgiving. And she's gotten gingerbread house kits in the past, and we've done it right then. But this year, my friend Emily, she's hosting a gingerbread house competition, so I'm gearing up because I actually won last year. So gotta, again, start brainstorming. I have a lot to brainstorm, clearly. Okay, for this next one, we are gonna make homemade ornaments, which I think will look different every year, but just the process of having a Christmas craft and making ornaments and adding it to the tree is great. I'll have to show you the one I made with Palmer, I think last year. It's so cute, it's this little paw print. But I will definitely be making, I think I want to do the clay, the air dry clay gingerbread cutout, and then cut out the little face and put our baby's face in that one. I know I have one like that I made when I was young, so we gotta make that with our son. I'm really excited for that one. And then next one, oh, this is an idea I saw someone else recommend. It's have a Grinch day where you watch the Grinch, Dr. Seuss the Grinch. You can even read the Grinch story. And then you also pair your movie viewing and your reading with Dr. Seuss themed treats. So again, you could have so much fun with that. I'm thinking all of the green, some kind of green juice, green pancakes, everything. I feel like that just sounds so fun. And honestly, we're so spoiled. We live so close to Universal. We could even take a little field trip to Universal and go meet the Grinch. That would be next level. Oh my goodness. Oh, the next one's fun too. Make a homemade happy birthday Jesus cake. I've never done this. I've seen other people do this and I think it's so cute, and I love the idea of singing to him and everything. I feel like kids especially would just have a ball with that. So maybe we'll make that happen. Okay, this one is super meaningful, and I feel like I do want to establish some sort of like Christmas Eve dinner situation where we have this time to reflect, or even doing this like a day or two after Christmas before the new year. And it's go around and light each other's candles. So each member of your family has a little taper candle or something, and you each share either a blessing from the past year or a, you know, something meaningful that really comes to mind, or just a fond memory and answered prayer. And then you also share any hopes for the new year. So something about like just having the home really dim and quiet, and just having that candlelight and tender conversation. I love this. I don't know if this is totally unrealistic when our kids are young, but I just think trying at least to establish that like calm and reflective state is super, super meaningful, and I love this idea. Okay, I also love this one. This one will probably happen in November since I love to decorate so early, but it's open Christmas PJs. So this is the first present of the season, and it's Christmas PJs. And then decorate the tree. I did order matching Christmas PJs for our little family, and I'm very excited about them. But I love the idea, which the ones I ordered for Brandon and I actually monogrammed them to say mom and dad, which yes, I am that kind of person. So they have like a little embroidered pocket, but then our kids will probably get different Christmas PJs every year, but ours are like are gonna be our classic PJs for hopefully years to come. Okay, the next one I've shared a bit in the past, but I love the idea of having a hot cocoa holiday stroll at least once a week in December, which before Christmas, that's only like 3 or 4 times, but I think starting Thanksgiving week, we'll try to do it. And I need to just sit down and look at the calendar and decide what day we want to do it. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. And then each time we can invite friends, family, whoever's available, and we make hot cocoa at home, put it in little to-go cups, and then we walk around the neighborhood, look at Christmas lights, and just chat, yap, Christmas carol if we feel like it. I just love this idea. And again, it's something relatively simple that can be just a weekly ritual this time of year, which is just, again, we're making it as magical as possible. Oh, this is just a quick little thought I wrote down. I really want to go to Cracker Barrel during Christmas time. There's something so cozy about Cracker Barrel at Christmas time, so gotta do that soon. Oh, I've also shared this one in the past. Someone shared this with me a few years ago and I love it. But essentially, you take all the Christmas cards you receive. Here, let me go grab it real quick. So this is a collection of the Christmas cards from the past couple of years, but essentially you take them all and you hole punch them, and then you add it to a little binder clip, and then each time you sit down for dinner, which honestly we don't really sit down to have dinner every night together at the table in this current season of life, but you know, hopefully we'll just remember to do this when we can. But you kind of close your eyes, like pick one of the Christmas cards and then see the family that shows up, and then you think of them, you pray for them, maybe text them Merry Christmas, thinking of you, praying for you. And that's just like such a cute way to start your meal and just, again, have that moment of gratitude, but also thinking of others, especially during this time of year. Okay, I'm like, my handwriting, I scribbled this last idea. It's have breakfast in bed and watch the claymations. We love the claymations. I have them all on DVD, which is useless at this point because I don't have a DVD player, but I would love to have breakfast in bed, watch the claymations. I definitely want our kids to watch the claymations. We can't let them just be forgotten. We got to keep them alive. They're so classic. I remember we moved into our home a little before Christmas 4 years ago at this point, and we didn't have a TV or anything, but we brought an air mattress down here in the living room and we put up a sheet, and I had a projector and we watched the claymations right here, and it was the best. So I'd love to do that again, and actually our bedroom could be a good spot for that because we don't have a TV in there and we could set up a sheet. So maybe we'll do that, or maybe we'll set it up down here again. But love these traditions, love these ideas. That's all I have for now, but of course I will let you know if I think of any more. And again, please let me know if you have any traditions. That all just made me so excited. And again, I just am hopeful that you all have a beautiful season. I say this every year and I truly think about it so much, but you know, there are holiday seasons where we're filled with so much hope and it's easier to sort of access our joy, but there's definitely years where it's hard. There's, you know, maybe loss we're experiencing, or we're just feeling a bit reflective and maybe a little bit lost, who knows? And you know, you feel this pressure to like make it so magical, so special, but you know, again, I hope we can have those joys, but of course, life is life and there's a season for everything. But truly wishing you and yours a beautiful Christmas, and I'm excited to see you next.